What's up, guys? This is the Non-Fungible Bros in our second video of the channel, and we're going to
Woo!
be talking about the VeVe new NFT Serial Killer coming into 2022. Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody's staying healthy and well with their families. And we're going to touch on the Amazing Spider-Man comic because that was an amazing drop today. Unfortunately, we didn't score, but we know a couple people who did, and it's going to be an absolutely amazing show. Hope you guys can stay around and just listen to everything about it. And we're excited to start this channel. We were a couple kids that have started this a few months ago, and we want to give you guys as much information as you can to be successful in your NFT journey. Another side note, this is for purely entertainment purposes only, and this is not financial advice. We're right, like I said, we're here to give you guys as much information as we can, be knowledgeable about the subject, and have you guys listen to somebody on YouTube that knows what they're doing in the space and give you guys everything that we can. So this is my non-fungible bro, EJ Locasio. We can't be together right now because we're in COVID. And it's unfortunate that that's the situation here in New York, but it is what it is, and we're going to deal with it. So I'm going to give the floor to EJ now to talk about his experience with today's drop, and we'll get to it.
Before I even go, did you try and get the comic?
I did try to get the comic, man, and it was an absolute failure. I walked around my house. I looked in the 5G LTE spaces. I literally waited under a cell tower, and it just didn't work out for me. We were obviously in the VeVe Discord seeing everybody complaining about bots and all the automatic, type of software that everybody has. And it's unfortunate that's the day and age that we're in. But, I think VeVe will definitely find a way to kind of curb that, hopefully going into next year. But it was definitely a failure for me. Unfortunately, I tried on the first rebound, the second rebound, the third rebound, and I couldn't get anything. So how about yourself?
I tried on drop, negative. First, second, third, and fourth rebound, negative, 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 negative. I definitely think that there's a bot problem in every type of drop in any type of market. Sneakers, we see it all the time. But with 901 editions, considering VeVe took 99, or VeVe and Marvel took 99, whoever, I think it was going to be a problem getting it anyway. So I had a loss in my head before I even tried. So I'm not sweating it. Were you looking at the prices the whole day? Because I was
Listen,
scrolling.
the prices, man. I mean, I know we were going back and forth here and there, but it's absolutely insane to think that a $6 comic, $7 comic is going for what you could essentially say a 3900X, if that's what you're going to call it, right?
Yep.
Do you see these things with the floor price? I couldn't even imagine my eyes when I saw it. $1,000, $2,000, $10,000. It's fluctuating all day. And the biggest thing about it was the exclusive. If you could touch a little bit more on that, what the different types of levels there were and how many NFTs per each, rarity, because I'm not too familiar on that. But like I said, seeing these numbers, it just makes your eyes kind of blow up because you would never think a digital collectible in this space would be worth that much already. And it's just the beginning. So,
Well, considering there's there's a billion and one Spider-Man fans in the world, most popular superhero in the world. I knew this was going to be big. I'm a little upset that they only did 901 drops, 901 editions. Common 425, like I touched on last video, 260 for the uncommon, 175 for the rare, 100 for the ultra rare, and 40 for the secret rare. That secret rare, bro, I don't see it going below $20,000.
mm-hmm. No, listen, I
Honestly,
believe it too. It's insane to even think that. And even like the years too, which is kind of strange. You see 1963, all these types of years that people obviously gravitate towards in older generations. That's going to even drive the value up even more because as you see these people getting into the space, it's going to be older people. Obviously, a lot of younger people are doing this right now because it's new. But once those older people start getting a hold of what's going on with the actual technology here, it's going to be really interesting to see the comics that were of their generation and their years shoot up in value because the people that are gathering these things right now are not those people. So when somebody that actually wants the comic of that generation, we're definitely going to see a jump, whether it would be, in value or, utility, whatever it's going to be in that actual comic or NFT collectible. But yeah, listen, like I said, it was a failure today. We're going to be going tomorrow though for the Serial Killers drop.
yes, sir.
That's going to be an interesting one. So if EJ could touch a little bit based on, his seeing of these actual serial killers, what they are, and kind of what he thinks the value is going forward on these things. I personally am not a big fan of serial killers. I do know that they're affiliated somewhat with the serial, so You've seen the big brands. I know a lot about the brands and kind of what's going on. That's why I was a big proponent of the Coca-Cola drop last week, 2 weeks ago. But yeah, so go ahead, take the floor.
I agree with everything you just said as far as not being a big name brand. Ron English, propaganda. Side note for anyone that doesn't know, his NFTs are not only available on VeVe. The Cereal Killer NFTs are VeVe exclusives, but he has what's it called? The Light Cult Crypto Club that he just released 10,000 or will release 10,000. So for me, because this isn't a big name brand, it's not something that I see holding crazy amounts of value. I believe there's only VeVe took 100, so there's 18,
I'll
18,
get, I'll get you the right number right now. Give me 1 second. We got 1,869 of these out of 959 available. So that means that there's a couple off the top that were already taken. So
it's a poster. We got to take that into account. It's a poster.
Yeah, that's true. It is a poster.
$100 poster with an FE tag. Will the FE tag bring the price up? Yes, you know that. People are going to go crazy. There are already people going crazy because they love these things. That secret rare gold bunny drop that they did for $1.
Mm-hmm.
People go nuts over that. Those as far as long-term value, I just don't see it. I could see it immediately selling for about 1,000, maybe going up to about 1,700 and then falling back down. I could see it in the 800.
That's a good point. That's a good point you made, EJ, because like what we're seeing here essentially is that obviously here you guys have on the screen, you can see, the floor price of essentially what is the most, rare of the bunnies here in the Cereal Killer group. And, it's going for $1,600, $1,700, market cap of around 100,000, which is pretty decent. But, talking about how the retail prices affect the aftermarket, when you're talking about the comics that came out for $7 and they're reselling for thousands, you could see that the community and fan base are really what drive the price. So when we're looking at these types of NFTs, a couple questions that me and EJ ask ourselves is, what is the community or the demand or the size of the fan base essentially behind the product? Spider-Man, EJ could tell you firsthand that that's one of the most, prominent super figures in the world. So you're talking about a fan base that's applicable to countries, to nations all over the world. Serial Killers, I feel like, is not too much known around the world. So that's why I don't really think this is going to be a big drop as far as Xing your money in that regard of the amount or the, actual value of the comics. But it's still going to be one that if you're holding it for value, like I said, this is all first edition, or at least close to it. And EJ could tell you firsthand because he's a big collector, how important that is going forward.
Truthfully, first of all, this is not financial advice. Everything I say is my opinion, and you shouldn't even listen to us. You should make your own opinions. And
absolutely, absolutely. We're just here to bring you knowledge.
Let's get that back out there. But my opinion on the matter is, if something isn't nationwide or worldwide popular and a big name brand, I'm only holding the big name brands: Disney, Marvel, DC, Cartoon Network. These are things people know about. The propaganda, it's blowing up. Ron English has about 260,000 followers on Instagram, which is a lot. But compared to the 50 million that Marvel has, it's not even comparable. So,
right. So now you're talking about a person, like your likelihood of drawing an actual fanatic for these NFTs out of a pool of 50 million fans is a lot higher. So that's why if you were to take a choice at certain NFTs to think to hold or at least be a collector on, it's going to be those high marquee NFTs, because you may like Serial Killers yourself, but at the end of the day, if you're looking at absolute value, that's what's going to retain its value over a long period of time because the fan base is so large.
But some people just want to collect them. If you're just a collector and you want to collect them, by all means, go for the drop. Everybody should be going for the drop because you're not going to lose money on this drop, in my opinion. It's an FE. It's the last piece of the Serial Killers. It culminates the entire set, 3-series set. Every single piece that he dropped, Ron English, is in that poster, and that's going to be, that's going to be key for later on when we can move to Immutable X. When you have every single Serial Killer and the poster, and there's only going to be, like you said, 1,869 people in the world that have the complete, quote unquote, complete set because of the poster.
Holding that.
So,
And to get off that point too, is that, you know, we talk about an existing fan base. What about a growing fan base? You know, and a great example of that would be Bored Ape Yacht Club. All of a sudden, nobody knew about it. And then all of a sudden you see, you know, rappers, celebrities tweeting, putting these in their, you know, thumbnails on their Instagram, social medias. That could be something that is going forward. If you could see a couple tips here and there as opposed to what's going on, who's holding them, that's a big thing that we look at too. So another tip, you know, that what we usually do when we're combing through the NFTs and looking at the price points is we look at who's holding them, right? If we see a big collector that's holding that type of NFT, we usually want to follow that because they probably know something that we don't, and that's going to help you guys too. So you guys can very easily do that through the app. Like I said, you know, the app is very, 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 very good. Me and EJ have experienced Nike sneaker drops, not the best thing in the world compared to VeVe. I think VeVe's up and down better. And going forward, they're only going to keep getting better as far as keeping out the bots and all the software that are obviously profiting off of this, because it's not fair to the regular avid collectors that are out there like us in our community trying to get these drops. But like I said, you know, we're going to get after this tomorrow, and hopefully you guys tune in for our next episode, which will be covering the hottest NFTs of 2022. And that'll be coming in a few days once we get a grasp on what's coming. And going forward, we have a private community in our Discord. The link will be at the bottom of the page. And we just started this YouTube channel we're called the Non-Fungible Bros. And thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you guys next time. Thank you.
Yes, sir.